Thank you both. We now go to the gentleman from Texas. For his.
Can we start the next hearing at 7 a.m. if everyone's going to have 10 minutes to talk? The first 3 minutes of the last 10 were spent talking about how you had no disclosure, you made no awareness to the consumer about any safety issues. Isn't it true that there are safety warnings that you all publish and spread and make sure people are aware of? What's that you held up?
And here's an example. This is the safety warning label that's provided in English and in Spanish on all of the slabs that leave our Cambria factory.
That can't be right, because the first 3 minutes of the last 10 were spent telling you how you didn't warn any consumers of anything. So are you lying now?
Oh, no, I apologize. I think I was confused by the questions, too.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense, did it? I mean, you very clearly make a point to say there are dangers involved with this product, right? I can't read it from here, but I suspect that's what it says.
It says no dry cutting, no dry grinding, no dry polishing. The first thing.
So the first 3 minutes of the last 10 before me were just a complete waste of this room's time, because you very clearly make a point to let folks know there are safety issues here. Isn't that what you did with that sheet? That's what it says, right?
We want it to be very clear to fabricators. They should not dry cut. And if they want to dry cut, they shouldn't be in business.
Well, I'm sorry for all the misinformation that seems to be coming to whoever might be crazy enough to be watching this hearing today, if they haven't turned off after the overtime. I want to go to you, Mr. Talwar. I've seen you writing down. Can you share with us what's on your mind that you haven't gotten to say?
Thank you for the question. I'm just a little guy at this table, but I'm representing a huge, huge chunk of our industry that feels that we're put in a corner, and how do we have a fighting chance? A couple of my notes I made, the cigarette example, there's a warning label on it. Even if you read the warning label, regardless, it's still bad for you, right? If you put a warning label on a slab, but you do it the right way, it's not bad for you. So that doesn't really apply to our industry. And another thing is, say you take quartz away, it's just gone. You ban it, you do what Australia did. They're still cutting granite, they're still cutting marble, they're still cutting quartzite. There's still dust, there's still silica. Dr. Michael said that the type of silica or the percentage of silica is different, but at the end of the day, it's greater than zero. Even if it's 1% silica, there's silica in it. If the shops that are cutting the wrong way aren't doing it right, it's still bad for them. And in our industry, with all due respect, it's common sense that if you cut it wrong, it's bad for you. So yeah, those are a couple of my thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Heeb.
I want to remind everyone that the numbers in California are rising. And every month, hot off the press, they will say the numbers are rising. We're over 400 cases right now. But you have to put it into context. The first 100 cases, between 10 to 12 of the first 100 cases were from one company. Let that sink in. Less than 15% of those first 100 employees were covered by workers' comp. It is inappropriate to say 50% of the fabrication facilities in California have a silicosis case. Those numbers are being taken out of context. A lot of those numbers are coming from a select few number of companies. So we just have to put that in perspective. Is there a perceived epidemic? Absolutely. We have got to focus on getting shops doing right, operating in compliance with OSHA, but it is not fair to, while we're working with trying to get more fabrication shops to be in compliance, that companies like Gary's and so many others that I spoke about are wondering if they're going to be in business next year.
Well, I appreciate you. I'm sorry for what you're going through. I hope we get this fixed. And I yield my remaining 7 minutes to the chairman.
I think